JAK in the Box.
Welcome to another edition of JAK in the Box. I'm Jack. This is DB. This is where we go through these old storage boxes of vintage action figures. They've been in storage for the past 20, 25 years or so. We had a big box with a bunch of smaller boxes in them. We took all those smaller boxes out. We're opening those now. It's time to find out what's in the box. I've got my little box cutter here. I'm gonna open this up and pop open this tape. Let's see if I can get it. It's a couple layers of tape. It's pretty thick tape, but okay, we got it. Just gonna go nice and even right through here. Get that off. Here it comes, opening up the box. Pass this over to DB. First one out of the box, who is it?
Let's see. Oh, what? This is cool. Wow, I've never seen this before. This is Shadows of the Empire Star Wars. And this is Luke Skywalker in an Imperial Guard disguise.
Okay.
With a taser staff weapon.
Interesting.
Get a load of that. That's
so the
crazy
Shadows of the Empire was actually, I think, like a comic book series that they did, and it kind of told a little bit of a story in between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. So this is when they were devising the plan to get Han Solo out from Carbonite. I can't remember exactly why Luke was dressed up in this kind of like Imperial Guard disguise, but for whatever reason he had to go into this disguise. But that's Luke Skywalker coming right out of the box.
Wow, that is cool. It explains kind of on the back of the box, I think, maybe of what is going on here. But okay. There's a lot to read in this little blurb here, but it looks like there's something
pretty small print back there you can see. But obviously if you want to pause the video for a moment, you can take a look, do a quick read, figure out what's going on with Luke Skywalker as I get the next out of the box. I'm going to pop this over to DB. Do you recognize this figure?
Well, yes, I do. It's Leia in her Boosh disguise.
Wow.
Also Shadows of the Empire, but now a more familiar disguise that we've seen Leia wearing before.
Okay.
She also has a blaster rifle and a bounty hunter helmet. Of course, you have seen that before. Get a load of Leia.
Interesting.
In that Boosh outfit. Very cool.
Very cool looking action figure here. Is there a stamp on here, or like, do you know what date this was produced?
This says 1996.
1996. Okay, interesting. So 1995 was the first wave of those new Power of the Force figures that had the red or the orange stripe that went across it. The second wave of those had the green stripe that went across. This would now kind of be considered that third wave, or at least maybe even second series, kind of in that same mold. And you can see they have the purple stripe kind of motif going with the Shadow of the Empire. Really cool action figures. Great to have these represented. What's next in the box? Gonna get this guy out, move this over to DB. Do we recognize that guy?
I do not recognize who the heck is Prince Zizor. I hope I'm saying that right. I'm guessing that's how you say his name. But he's got some energy blade shields. And I've got to read this because I don't
Prince
know.
Sizor, he was actually the head of one of those kind of like syndicates that are in the Star Wars universe. Was he like the Black Hand? Oh, Black Sun. Black Sun. Yeah, it took me, like, this is going back quite a few years, but he was kind of the head of one of those syndicates. Interestingly enough, if they kind of show the different kind of groups that are out there and kind of in the underworld of Star Wars, he might show up in the Boba Fett show.
Maybe. That's possible.
Interesting.
They could dig deep and try and use that reference to put a new character in that series.
Well, I think we're going to see, just based off the trailer, it looks like we're going to see a couple different ones. Yeah, exactly. So we might see him, not guaranteed on that, but it's a possibility. It'll be around that same timeline a little later. Interestingly enough as well, you can see on the back of the card here, there is the Slave One right there being represented. That's pretty cool. Anytime you see the Slave One on any box, that's really cool to take note of.
Yeah, definitely cool.
Very, very cool.
Like that.
So I'm going to keep going in here. It's odd because I don't see any other action figures. It kind of just went to this bag. And this bag is action figures. Okay. Wow. Okay. I know what's going on here. So when I was in school down at San Diego State, I lived in a house and we had like these little dioramas set up. This is another one of the dioramas. So I guess there was room enough to have the diorama in here, plus a couple of these Shadow of the Empire figures, so that's why they got fit in here. But let me pop this over to DB. Here's the first figure coming out. Do you recognize him?
Yeah, we got an Imperial Guard right here.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. Love these guys. So they're red capes, and they're super cool looking with that red like helmet that they wear.
Really,
very
really cool.
Stoic and very like menacing.
Action figure, yeah, and you never really see their face or anything like that. You don't even really know what species is in there. You don't even see them battling.
Do anything other than look menacing.
Well, if you're going to have an Emperor's Royal Guard, I guess it's fitting to have a Emperor somewhere nearby.
Definitely cool. Love the Emperor. Awesome.
Next out of the bag here is this guy. No cape on him, but there's a reason that there's no cape on him.
Okay.
And that's because he's actually fighting right now. If you want to go ahead and extend that lightsaber as you did, he's fighting, and the guy he's fighting against is no other than the one and only, kind of the first action figure that we got. It's also the last action figure. Nice. Who's that, DB?
We got Luke Skywalker right here.
Luke Skywalker.
Fighting against Vader.
And that's Luke Skywalker in his Jedi outfit right there. Right. It's interesting because Luke Skywalker doesn't really change a whole lot throughout the Return of the Jedi movie. You first see him and he has this kind of black robe, black cloak type thing on. Then he goes and he visits with Yoda for a bit.
Is Darth Vader my father?
Also there, he's got the black robe, black cloak on. They do get to Endor, and once they get to Endor, he does kind of have like that poncho that he puts on when he's like, on the speeder bikes and everything.
Right. There's 2 more wrecked speeders back there. And I found this.
But then he has to leave there, and he ends up putting this outfit back on.
Your thoughts betray you, Father. I feel the good in you.
So really interesting to have Luke Skywalker in the Jedi outfit fighting Darth Vader. There he goes. We've got Darth Vader, Luke Skywalker in the throne room here, the Emperor looking on with the Emperor Royal Guard right there as well. This was one of our setups that we had in that house down in San Diego, DC. I know you remember this one.
That's awesome.
You have paid the price for your lack of vision.
Really love the setup here and the story, and definitely brings you back into that scene of the movie.
And we would have parties and different things like that, and there would always be one guy that would come over and look at the little dioramas, and he'd be like, hey man, the Emperor's Royal Guard, he wasn't in the scene with them. That's how we knew who the Star Wars fans were and who the Star Wars fans weren't. So we'd give that guy credit and say, hey, this is our own little setup. Yeah, you're right, it's not directly from the movie. But I can't tell you, those little dioramas we had up, they used to ignite so many different conversations about Star Wars and different things like that. I remember, it might even have been that same guy, we almost got in like a fist fight because he swore to me, he was like, dude, I had the Boba Fett with the rocket launcher. And I was like, nah, they never really released that. I know we had the cards on the back of the card. It said that's what was going to happen. But before Kenner actually shipped it, they kind of took that away and just made the rocket launcher. He was like, no, I had it. And I was like, dude, no, you did not, because nobody had that. And to this day, he's probably still telling people, oh, I had it. But no. He did not.
If you're that guy, comment down below. We want to hear your story.
Or any comments that you have. We'd love to hear what your best in the box is. So awesome to have these different figures represented here. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. You'll see all our other videos pop right up. Help us spread the fun. That's what we're doing here on JAK in the Box. We've got more boxes to go, but for now, I'm JAK. This is DB.
And we did it.
JAK in the Box.
Be sure to subscribe and binge watch all of our episodes. Thanks for tuning in to JAK in the Box.